Welcome to another episode of the Sippin and Trippin Podcast, where we connect with amazing people. Today's topic is, what is a weak man, and does it even exist? I am your host, Desmond Black, and the person that's sipping and tripping with me today is a returning guest, Mr. Jarvis Black. How you doing today?
What's up?
You worked today or you was off?
I'm off on the weekends.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it was Sunday. That's right. That's true. Before we get into the topic, you heard about Joe Biden?
I was sleepy.
Relax. Yeah, did you hear about him?
Nah, what happened?
He withdrew from his from running as president. I found out this morning, man, when they was going live with it, and I was like, man, that's crazy. So I went to my phone and I was like, let me find out why and if it's even true, right? Because I don't believe everything I hear.
Because he's sleepy.
So he said he was withdrawing from the. Yo, you funny as hell. But he said he's withdrawing because he caught COVID-19. I'm like, that's crazy because I don't think it's ever been done in like history as far as presidents. Like, he's still the president until November at least. No, actually not November, because they get elected in November, but they don't start taking over until like what is it, March or something like that?
No, January. They do their inauguration. They do their inauguration in January.
Okay, so that's my thing though. Like, if he caught COVID, like, I mean, what does that mean as far as him running the country, running the nation? Like, that's wild shit.
That's more or less probably an excuse because he been half dead the whole presidency. Not seriously, not even trying to be funny. Like, he has been, like, he's old, but he's one of those old men like got semi dementia. So it's like they probably was telling him. Seriously, in one of his interviews, he said they asked him about Kamala Harris. They said, "Do you think, like, if something happened to you, she could run the country?" He said, "I would not have elected Vice President Trump if I didn't think she could run the country."
He said that shit. Yo, I gotta check that out. That shit's crazy, bro.
So like,
I felt bad for him. Did you?
His mind, he's done, and then like inside of the debate, like, I just was glancing at it, skimmed through it. He's like spaced out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was crazy.
And they caught him like rubbing some dude's arm, like he didn't know that it was an arm or something. Like, it's sad because he just don't have it all completely up there. So
you know it is sad because I was not voting for no Trump. I was going to vote for Biden again, but I rushed home to watch the presidential debate, and bro, I wanted to fall asleep on it, and I said I was gonna go back and watch it, but I felt bad for him. Every time he spoke, he was just like, did you hear me? And I was like, bro, you ain't even say nothing. How can we hear you? And then Trump was just looking at him like, yeah. And it's crazy. He 81. Trump is only 4 years younger than him, but he don't look as old as Biden. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Trump had money his whole life. Like,
that's true. That's true. You know, and then we all knew Kamala was going to run for president, but she just announced it like 2 hours ago. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to run for president." Like, we didn't know that, because that's how it's supposed to be. You have a president, a vice president. Something happened to the president, the vice president becomes the president, and then when it comes to the debate, then quite naturally they run for president. So I don't know. We might get our first black president. What you think? I mean, black female president. I'm sorry. What you think?
No.
You don't think so? You think Trump or one of these other three guys is going to beat her out?
Yeah. There will be a civil war before they allow a female to be president. People just don't realize that yet. There'll be a civil war first. Because they I'm not going to speak on it, but I don't think nobody's ready for that unstableness, put it like that.
You see that comment?
Yeah, I see.
You see that the comment?
Yeah, I see it.
It's crazy. It's crazy though, bro. Like, I want to see it. The first black female president. But in saying that, I'm not going to lie. I am scared for that because women, their mindset is on a different level. Now you come up with all these laws, and then you think the women's rights was something. If we have a black female president or a female president in general, the kind of laws they're gonna want to push.
Stick with in general. Stop calling.
That's
her
what
black.
I said. Well, she is black, but that's why I said I would scale it back. Women in general.
Her dad's not black, so that takes it away.
He's not?
No,
I didn't know that. What is he?
I think he's like Asian or something.
Nah, that's wild. I'm gonna have to look that one up, but
yeah, because
that's
our mom is, but the pedigree comes from your father. That's where the seed comes. Yeah. That's where the seed comes from. So that's what you. Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, I am scared to see a female president. I am, bro. I think life as for a man is going to be 10 times harder. I think a female is going to come up with all these laws that's outlandish and weak men. It's funny that that's the topic, but weak men it's going to be like, oh yeah, whatever a woman wants, until it hits them or bite them in the ass. And they're going to be like, oh, this some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it'll be a civil war before that happens.
Yeah, it might be, but yeah. So we're gonna jump right into this topic, right? So, what is a weak man, and does it even exist? Right? I've conducted a survey with 12 different individuals to get a little bit more insight on the topic, right? And here are some of the results that I came up with, or that I had. Somebody said a weak man is a man that does not put in the effort to better himself. What do you think about that?
Okay. I can see that. I mean,
why is that?
The duty of a man is to basically provide, achieve, and to be like an alpha. If you don't push to be better, then you can't necessarily be an alpha. You'll be a beta. Like you will be a quote unquote a man, but the softer version. Like what I'm saying, you're just like content with whatever. When like an alpha like strives to be the best. So you can't be the best in anything if you don't push to be better or to grow. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't make you what it is. I mean, that's what how like testosterone. Like if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all about competition, being better. If you that's pushing yourself. That's striving to be better. That's something to be, greater than some pushover or some passive person. You know what I mean? It's a female characteristic. It's to be like submissive, weak, feeble, all of those type of things.
It's funny how you use the word a female characteristic, because I often say that a lot, and I've heard men and women say there's no such thing, but like it is a such thing. Like it's female traits, it's female characteristics, and I don't know why people shy away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just factual, man. It's why I think that's why a man carries like the X and the Y. We have the male and we got the female, right? Like in a previous podcast, I was talking about how a man has feminism, right? I'm not saying be a punk or be a little girl, but anytime a man exhibits female traits or characteristics such as like nourishing or having patience, those are female characteristics. Those are female traits. And a man that's secure with his manlyhood, right? His masculinity, it's okay. He knows it's okay to be in tune with his feminine side, right? A lot of people look at the word feminine like, oh, you call me a punk, you call me gay, and that's not what that means. It just means the softer side of you, right? So, you agree with that or no?
Not entirely.
But you said female characteristics, and characteristics and traits is like the same.
Some of the characteristics or traits that you just named, I wouldn't say they're female characteristics.
So if the man is all right. So let's look at it like this: in a household or in a relationship, the man is the what?
He's supposed to be like the protector and the provider.
And it, like the disciplinary,
Yeah.
disciplinarian, right? The woman is supposed to be what?
She's the caretaker or the helpmeet
The
or you
the
know what I'm saying?
nourisher. Yeah, she the
Yeah,
nourisher is right.
yeah,
What?
but
So
go ahead.
so a man to take care of his wife or take care of his elderly parents or take care of his kids, is that not exhibiting that nourishing trait?
No, I don't think so because that's also part of protecting, taking care of, providing. That's part of that same category because if if you're supposed to take care of, you know what I'm saying, or protect or support or all of that stuff to your significant other, right? Then you
Right.
have to know how to do those things. And I think that is why a man has, if you want to say that X chromosome, that's why a man has both because he's supposed to
Right.
be able to do both. And a woman
Right.
is
He's
only
what?
supposed to be able to do one. A woman is not supposed to be a protector. She's not supposed to have strength to fucking do all this crazy stuff that a man has to do. She shouldn't have to
Right.
work as hard as a man.
And that's what I was getting at. So that man is supposed to be that balance in that relationship or that household. That balance need to have both the masculinity and the feminism. You know
I
what I
wouldn't
mean?
call it I
Because
wouldn't call it feminism because when you say nourishing, right?
mm-hmm.
I don't look at that. Nourishing to me is more um like um what's the word I'm looking for? Like coddling a baby and
Mm.
um and being that consoling person when your kid scrapes their knee, where a
So
father.
you don't think as a good father, you don't think you should do those things?
Absolutely.
So again, you just said
So
that's what you
that
associate with.
right. I agree with your where you're going with it, but that doesn't mean that's a female characteristic. If you just said a good father is supposed to do that, that's not a female
Okay.
characteristic. If a good father, just him is supposed to do that.
Right.
That mean make it a
So you
female
said
characteristic.
so you saying if it's just that man that's providing for that child in the absence of the mother, are you saying if the mother is present, then the man should just strike that from his, you know,
No,
his way of life?
no, but he has to do it in a different form because you can't, in my opinion, you can't overdo those things. So, like with a kid, right? So you can't overdo coddling because you're gonna have a
Right.
spoiled brat. So if the mother is present and she's capable, she's supposed to do that. So you can be the opposite. So they can say,
Right.
listen, you keep doing that, I'm gonna get your father. And they already
Right.
know that you're gonna be more serious. They don't even you
Right.
don't have to do anything harsh. They just gotta say it because they already know, okay, well, mom does this, dad don't do that. Right?
Right.
But in the absence of the mother, she's at work or um she's like sick or she's on a vacation or she's on a business trip or something like that. The father is supposed to have the ability to do those things. You
Right.
know what I mean? But I don't think if the
Right.
father's missing, the mother should try to step in and be the father because that's where you're going to have the disconnect.
Right. Well, we wasn't saying the mother should do that.
I,
We was
I
talking about the
understand that,
man
but
have
that's what
exhibiting.
right, right. I don't understand, but that's what I was giving how I'm breaking it down. Why I think that a father should be capable of doing both, but if the mother's around, then he shouldn't do the other. Right. So when you said
Right.
does that mean that a good father should do it? Yes, but only in the absence of the mother,
Mm.
because that's what you need her for. You need her to do those things so you can be the opposite, so they can have a little bit of fear of what a father means and a father's discipline. Because if you, this is where I think a weak man come in. If you want to pussyfoot with your kids and act soft with them too, and they do something and you don't discipline them right away, then you become a weak as a father, because then they're not going to respect you in the way that they should, because they
So
don't understand.
with you being a father though, right? You ever yell at your kids or chastise them or whoop them and then feel regret or feel bad about doing it afterwards, and then the only thing you want to do is console them and make them know that that's not how you want them to view you? You don't ever do something like that?
No, because when I discipline my kids,
Damn.
right? When I discipline my kids, right? Even when I
Right.
do, of course I feel bad. Well, don't take the whole thing, right? So I feel bad because sometimes I'm like, damn man, they just kids, and oh look at them, they all sad and stuff, and I feel bad because they're sad, right? But then
Right.
it also uh initiates a lesson behind it, because now I'm
Right.
like, when I feel bad, I'm like, now y'all gonna understand why I feel bad. But I don't want to be like, oh, I'm about to hold you because of that. You deserve what you got, but you
Yeah.
about to understand why I feel bad, like why I like listen. You know what I'm saying? This is why it hurts me to do that, because now I gotta watch your
Right.
sad face. Now I gotta do that. But you shouldn't have did what you did. You act up, and now you're gonna get this. And it's a learning
Right.
lesson, because my daughters today, right? I got daughters, right? And I right as of today, like, and I haven't for the past like maybe 5, 6 years or whatever. I don't even remember years though. I don't even have to say or do nothing anymore, because when they was coming up,
Right.
I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
let it be known, discipline, and that's what it was. And they go run into their moms, and then I had to shut their moms down. Like, no, that's not going to happen, right? Because the mothers will do
Right.
that, and then the mothers going
Right.
like, "Don't, this is your father. You know how he is," and I'll let that go. Yeah, they know how I am. So now I don't have to do that anymore. Like, I barely even have to raise my voice, because I could just look at them a certain way, and they know what time it is. Because when they was coming
Right.
up, I couldn't exhibit what we the topic, the weak man side, because then they wouldn't respect me. Like, oh, that's just dad. Like, all we gotta do is like, daddy, please. And I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, baby. And I'm gonna give up. That's not how it's gonna happen. Like, they do have me wrapped around their finger. I do whatever they want me to do. But they know if they mess up, it's a wrap. It takes nothing for me to be like, you ain't getting it. It takes nothing. So
Yeah.
that's to me how a strength of a man should be. Like, you can't break, fold, or whatever, just because they make you a little sensitive inside, because you love your kids.
Oh, see, I was about to say something, but before I get to that, you said just because they make you feel a little sensitive, so you admit that you do feel a little sensitive. You just don't show that outwardly. Is what you're saying?
Sensitivity is not a female trait.
Why isn't it?
It's
It's
not.
so female trait. It's when they say female traits, it's the softness, the softer side of any person, right?
Being
Because
sensitive,
men are supposed to be
being sensitive
protectors
don't make.
and the strong ones. All
Go
right,
ahead.
that's what we beg different in.
Go ahead. Finish
I
what
think
you
since sensitive. Um, I forgot what I was getting into, but like low key, I feel like in a way you call me the weak man. It's funny. Not saying you are, because shit. Like 2 days ago, I had to chastise my kids, and immediately I was like, "Fuck! I wish I didn't do that. I wish I would have just talked to them." But I know that talking to them ain't getting through to them. And like you say you at the point where you ain't even got to do nothing or say nothing, and they get it. 90% of the time, I don't. I could just give them a look, and then they be like, when I come home, they run, their eyes be all big, they sit on the couch. I'm like, I know you wasn't like this all day. But it's the presence of a man. But when I do have to chastise them or discipline them, I feel bad instantly. But I don't give in right away, because I want them to respect me and know that I don't play no games. Bro, I like I said 2 days ago, I had to chastise my kids, And right away, I was like, damn, I'm gonna go buy them something tomorrow because I don't want them to grow up hating me or have that remorse. You know what I'm saying? That's that sensitivity. Instantly, I felt that, and I'm like, fuck. But I try to stand my ground, right? I try to stand 10 toes down and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm a man. And they're going to grow up to be men. I want them to understand what it means to be a man. I want them to understand that respect goes a long way. But what I'm getting at is every time I have to discipline them, man, I feel bad. And I thought that would only happen if I had daughters, which I have one now, but like she's not old enough now. She's like just barely, she's just a little over 2 months. But for a son, I never thought I would feel this way, but I do. I hate it. I'll be at work like, damn, I'm gonna have to buy my kids shit to compensate and to make up for me disciplining them, right? But then I come home and I look at them, I'm like, wait, if I actually do that, what is the message that I'm putting out there? That it's okay? That I fucked up? That I'm the problem? So that's where I'm at war with myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, every once in a while, I discipline them and I buy them something. But that's not often. Sometimes I say, all right, in a week I'll buy them something. And they're like, what's this for? And I'm like, just because. You know what I mean? So you don't ever feel that way?
No.
All right. Well, we're gonna move off of that, bro. So
I mean, I have felt like that before. Like I want to, because they make you feel bad. But it's about, I guess you could say, maturity. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand, you know, that they kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many times have you got your butt whooped before, and you like, can't stand my mom, can't stand my dad, right? And then
all the time. I don't think,
And then a couple days later, it's like you don't even think about that stuff no more. So you gotta be, that's maturity comes. You be like, oh yeah, that they gonna feel like that. Oh well, because a couple of days later, you're gonna be back there, dad. You're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Right. Like there's no need to overcompensate for doing what's right. It's a lesson that they need to be taught, and that's the end of it. They got taught the lesson, and there's no need to, I gotta do extra, I gotta do this because I had to prove a point. No, the point was proven. Like you know, my middle child today tells me like this. She tells it, and I asked her sometime, I'm like, why is it so easy for you to behave? She said, I got a butt whooping that I'll never forget. That's good enough for me.
That's amazing.
That's good enough for me.
I wonder if it's different with girls and boys. I ask my kids, they be like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know. Or I'll be like, why are you good when I'm home, but when I'm not home, you're bad? They're like, I don't know. And what breaks my heart is when they say shit like, I'm good when you're home because I fear you. I'm scared of you. But why? I try to be the best father. I try to be your best friend. So to tell me you fear me, I don't want that. You know what I mean? What's on your mind? Oh no, I thought you was gonna say something.
I mean, I got something in my head, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Because
all right, so look.
Go ahead.
No, go finish your thought first.
It's, to me, it's a certain thing about fear and stuff. You know, I've had conversations with people before, and some people feel, you know what I'm saying, because some people tie discipline into fear, right? And you say, I all kids need discipline, and they'll be like, oh no, you can love kids and they'll respect you and all that stuff. So that's just a different conversation, because I feel discipline is necessary, but fear, if a kid fears you, I think that there's something that's being done to entice that feeling.
I got you. Well, so before we talk about a weak man being somebody that don't put in the effort to better himself, right? So I wanted to add something earlier. So for me, I would say that we all creatures of habit, right? We all get complacent and content. The question for me will be, where's that man in his life? How bad is his situation, right? Like, because let's say he's not in a terrible situation in his life, but he's not at his peak. He hasn't reached his peak, right? If he doesn't put in the effort to reach his highest point in life, does that still make him a weak man? Right? Because, like I said, the person said a weak man is somebody that don't put in the effort to better himself. So, like, what I'm saying is, so say if he's not in the worst situation, but he's not at his peak, like meaning his highest point in his life. It's room to grow, but he's content where he at because he said my bills is paid. I don't have to want for nothing. But mentally, he knows he can do better and get more out of life if he apply himself. But he's content. Does that still make him a weak man?
Yes.
Ooh, preach! I got to hear this. Why you think that?
I mean, I feel like other things that you're gonna bring up is gonna kind of make me want to talk about what I'm gonna say, what I would say, because I feel like
right.
There's other things, but
it's interesting because to be honest, I didn't think you would say that would still make him a weak man.
I mean, you got to hear what you just said, right? Yeah. I know I can do better, but right. I'm content. Right. That don't sound weak to you? I mean, seriously. So, for me, imagine if let's just say, let's just use an athlete. Right. I'm good enough to get paid this bread. I'm good enough to make it on this into the NBA. I could be better, but right. Shit, I'm just gonna chill. You be like that. You wouldn't respect that player.
Well, as a fan, maybe you won't respect him, but as an athlete, think about it this way: doesn't that make him a smart man? If he's getting, let's say, he was getting $80 million a year, just by just going up there and just playing ball, but he has other skills he can exhibit, but he's still getting that money. Like $80 million a year, it's kabuki money. Like your kids are set. Your mother and several people could be set. So I don't know. I can go both ways with that. Like I don't think that would make him a weak man.
It would. As a player, they'd be like, man, you a punk. It would. Because you got to think about it. If I'm your teammate,
go ahead.
If I'm your teammate and you lacking the amount of effort and amount of shit you can do for this team and how you can help us grow, help us win more championships, help us get better stats, help us make history, but you choosing to hold back, nigga, you a punk.
But when it comes to sports, ultimately, I feel like it's all about individual stats. Like, sure, the team gets stats, but guess who get more credit? The individual, right? So I don't know. I think that's being a good businessman. No. You doing. Wait a minute. Not the bare minimum, but you in the middle.
Is an athlete a businessman now?
Yes. So oh my God! See, this is what's crazy. All right, we're going off the topic a little bit here, but look, you think somebody playing sports should get paid more than a doctor or somebody that contributes to the vitality of human beings? Do you agree with that? The amount of money, let's say a non-contact sport. Do you honestly believe in your heart, in your mind, that they should be paid millions of dollars to play a sport?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's because of this.
You don't even get millions of dollars in the military, and you might not survive.
I get it. But you're looking at the small picture, right? Because your life, and this is not what I truly believe, but it's how stuff works, right? Your life, right, is not worth more than the what you bring to the country. right? So check me out. Just hear me out.
Mm.
You're bringing entertainment. You're bringing peace and some small amount of serenity to the fans, right? People
Right.
live for this stuff. They're able to, if I'm watching sports, I'm like, I can't wait the football come on. That I get to go home, kick my feet up, watch this entertainment. Like, you got to think about what you're actually bringing to the table, right? So you look at the teachers and all in the military and all of them. Yeah, they're serving the country, but like, keep it funky.
They putting their life on the line.
Here, all right. How much?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No.
But keep it funky. How much do you really care about the individual that's in the military? Keep it funky.
If I'm keeping it funky, man, and listen, I never. All right, I don't care about the individual. To keep it funky, because they don't make or break or do nothing for my life.
You watch every damn sport. So who's bringing more to you, to your life? Think about that.
Right. Hey, 1 second. You know what's crazy? Your nephew, he's 9 years old, and see the comment he put on there? That's crazy. He thinks that way. I didn't know he was watching.
Okay.
That's crazy. I gotta give him more credit because I didn't know his mind was there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it says, so a doctor shouldn't get paid more, saving lives. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm gonna say,
and I gotta put this other comment up here.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm sorry, my bad. I was put
no because check it out like this, right? Like this. Just hear me out for a second, right? Let's just go to a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about the whole medical staff. A doctor. How many hours does a doctor actually work? Right? They'll do a surgery 1 hour.
A lot.
No, listen.
No, I get it. No, but doctors. Okay.
They'll do a surgery and they'll be done.
Would you say it? Yeah.
Right? Do you know why a doctor gets paid a lot?
Right.
Because what they're actually doing can save or ruin lives. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said 12 a day.
You see that right there? It says,
12 a day.
Right.
So if you work 12 hours a day, that's it. Right? Where an athlete is doing the same thing, gotta go on the road, spend time away from his family, risk his body getting hurt, injured, all of that stuff on a consistent basis.
But I said a non-contact sport.
What's a non-contact sport?
Basketball. Today's basketball.
The same thing, right? All that jumping up to the rim, running up and down the court is wear and tear on your body. How many people in the NBA get ACL tears? How many people get jumper's knee? How many of them get like toe injuries, broken ankles? Like, what are you talking about? Like that, it might be a non-contact sport, but it's not a non-injury sport. Like, and then if they get injured, if they get injured, right? What are they doing now? If they can't be
they still collect the money.
No, they don't. That's why most of them go be analysts, because they don't have nothing after that.
What about tennis? Same thing, because you can, if you plant your feet, it's not a contact sport, but injuries happen. You can get injured getting out of bed.
You're right, but it's the likelihood of the injury. That's what it's all about. And then they bring entertainment, right? Right. And that's what it's all about. It's also the entertainment. They got to get paid to be stars, to make themselves. They got to be good enough. They got to train to be so you can watch them. Imagine what would happen if the football people were just all lazy. Like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum. I'm gonna do a bare minimum just so I could get this paycheck. Nobody's gonna watch it. Then they're gonna lose the ratings. Nobody's gonna watch it. They're gonna lose the money. What?
Yeah, my bad, bro. I said my bad. I was laughing because the comments are going crazy. Look, swimming.
But swimmers are not like, they're not getting $80 million a year like a basketball player or a baseball player, stuff like that. So That's not.
I don't know how much they get paid, but I think they still get more money than they should, to be my opinion. But I don't know.
They get a lot. They got a lot of money, but
So,
look how small the swim thing is. It's not like you get swimmers from every state that get to be in the thing. It's only a select few, and they got to be elite. If they not elite, peace.
right.
What you talking about? Like it's
Right.
what you bring to the
All right.
table.
I get you. So no, I was just about to get to the next thing that I was told when I did my little survey, right? So, so I was told that a weak man is a deadbeat father. I don't know why I laughed. So, what are your thoughts on that before I go on?
He is.
So wait, you say you don't know about that? All right, yeah. All right, so
no, I don't know why you laughed.
A deadbeat father.
He is.
Oh yeah, I got you. All right, so. So what are your views on how loosely the word or the term gets thrown around these days?
What, deadbeat?
Yes, deadbeat fathers.
These days,
what are your views? It's loosely thrown around, so I want to know what your thoughts are.
These days, it's hard to say because you can miss a birthday and they'll call you a deadbeat. Like these days.
Oh yeah, I'm getting into that. Go ahead.
These days is different, but the original terminology of what a deadbeat father was, I agree with wholeheartedly, 100%. I think that's a weak man because I know people like who became deadbeats just because they couldn't deal with the mother, right? Or just because they not with the mother, and I would consider that a deadbeat to me. And I would agree with that. That means you're a weak man because a man is supposed to have strength. A man is supposed to be able to have more self-control. And if you don't have enough self-control to deal with that and for the betterment of your kid, you're weak. Men is all about strength. Okay. If you cry and you complain and you whine because of any of those things about, oh, she not with me or she this and she that, it makes you effeminate, and that's the word that I'm going to jump on next. Effeminate. That's what I was saying. That sensitive is not a female thing. Being effeminate is. See what I'm saying?
So all right. So now that you went back to that, no. Now that you went back to that, give me examples of female traits.
Whining. What they call bitch moaning complaining. That's a female trait. That's a female characteristic. A man is not supposed to be sitting over here whining. If when you're talking and your voice is not aggressive, it's more like, oh my God, effeminate. Whining. That's what makes you a female, right? When you do stuff like that, and if you like everybody probably got their woman. And when they get frustrated, they slap their leg. Right? That to me makes you.
Yo, you got me crying. I don't know if you can say it. You got me crying. You funny as hell.
Like for me, that's what makes you.
Look at the comment, bro.
I hear what he's saying.
You OD. You.
But like that's just me how what I'm saying. Like I think that's what it is. Like those are female traits. You know what I'm saying? Because
wait, give me like two more female traits. Oh, you got me crying. This is crazy.
If you like, how can I say it? Like if your woman is raising you, you understand that kind of concept?
No. Explain. This is funny. This is comical.
Like when females,
if your woman raise you,
yeah, not like you're a child. Like, but when like for instance, if she's like basically calling the shots and like, we got to do this. You need to do this. You need to change that. You need to do this. Like that because it's like as a man, you're supposed to already be on that wave. That goes back to the first thing, making yourself better. If your woman is forcing you to be better, forcing you to be more manly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of got to get you into that mojo of your masculinity. She's like, oh, you need to do this. You need to get yourself together. Like pick yourself up. Like all of that stuff. That's when you're like, I feel like you're being a weak man because you're acting like the weaker vessel, which is the woman, and she has to take the masculine role. Like that's
Right.
having a female trait to me. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Keep talking real quick. Somebody wanted to join in, so I'm about to plug them in real quick. Hold on.
Go ahead.
You keep go. No, keep talking though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, basically like that. Like when having female characteristics, it's like, you know what I mean? Like not basically having the masculinity that you need. Like, you know, being scary too. Like, you know what I mean? Like if someone like, for instance, if you feel like sound like somebody's breaking in the house, and you gotta be like, babe, what's that?
Right.
And you're like ducking and hiding behind her. Like, y'all walking down the hallway together, and you're holding her arm and stuff. Like, just go figure it out. You should be able to protect your woman. So you're like, yo, chill, stay right here. I'll be back. Get the weapon or the bat or the golf club, whatever it is, and you go protect your house. But if you walk with her, you creeping with her, you all nervous just like her, that's a female trait. That's a female characteristic. Like, you are being more effeminate than you should be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's yeah. But what was your question? Your original question again?
My original question?
Yeah, the second one.
No, that was it. It was about deadbeat father. I said, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I said, what are your views or thoughts on how loosely the word deadbeat gets thrown around?
I mean, as of right now, I think it's just, like I said, it's being thrown around randomly because it's like now anything that a father does, and this is not all, because a lot of women know that their the fathers of their kids are doing what they're supposed to do. But there are some out there who still throw that word around and act like it means something because there's something that's not done for them, or something's not done when they want it to, or he has to cancel on a certain type of date or appointment, and shit happens in life. So she's supposed to be able to understand that. But now they're just like, oh, you're a deadbeat, just because they know that's like a derogatory thing, and they want to get a reaction or something like that. So I don't respect the way it's thrown around today nowadays, but the original term, I do believe that a deadbeat father is a weak man.
Right. My bad. I was reading the comments. It's crazy. All right. So look, what I was gonna say is, listen. Women tend to call men a deadbeat for the. Hold on. My bad. I feel like I was gonna sneeze. Yeah, I hope I don't sneeze. Hold on. So it says women tend to call men a deadbeat a little way too frequently for me, right? A man could be there for their kids, pay child support, but not pay any extra money to the woman or for the kids, and the woman to call him a deadbeat, right? I don't agree with that. If they don't get what they want, meaning the mother, they call a man a deadbeat. Nowadays, the term deadbeat gets used, interchangeably with the word like dumb or stupid or whatever. And then speaking about child support, right? Like,
what do you want to do? You don't want to do this. I got a strong view on child support.
That's what I was about to say. I said, men mad. Speak. Yeah, hey, it's okay, and you might get me mad, but I'm listening. But speaking about child support, what are your thoughts? Right? Like, let me ask you this: should a man go to jail or prison for not paying child support?
No.
And before you answer, it's not paying child support. Is that a crime?
I'm gonna say no. Right?
Okay.
But it does make it difficult, right? Because child support is necessary. Right?
Okay.
So child support is necessary, right? And there needs to be some way to force that hand from a man, right?
Right.
And being then here we go. But there needs to be a way to force child support from a man, right? And I'm gonna say that because I have been with my kids when they was younger for like at least the first 4 years of their lives, or or more, right? As they're coming up,
right?
And I know, as being a full-time parent, I know the cost and the responsibility, right? So to leave that for a woman to do by herself is damn near a crime. It's like, because she didn't have the baby.
Wait, you said damn near a crime, but when I asked you if it's a crime, hold on, I asked you if it was a crime, and you said no. Now you said it's damn near a crime. Which one is it?
Damn near is not a crime. Damn near means close. And I say that is because it's like a form of stealing, right? You're taking away from somebody's life with no aid, and that's what raising a kid is. It's taking pieces of your life away, not in a bad way, but you got your time, your energy, your money, your stress. Like they do that to you, and it's great to have kids and to raise kids, but if you're doing it and you have to spend that time, you get exhausted and you get overwhelmed sometimes. And if you don't have nothing to alleviate you from that, that's gonna right. be a mental thing that can cause some kind of psychosis. And then when women go out here and they snap and they act crazy, everybody look at them like, why? Well, guess what? A lot of women are out here taking care of kids by themselves, and the deadbeat father disappears, and he's just like, well, I'm living my life, and that's why it's some form, and they don't know how to regulate that to make sure the man can do it. Because if a man be like, oh, you taking out of my paycheck, he'll quit his job and go do something under the books just so he don't have to pay. And then they're like, you know what? Then you're going to jail, because they don't have no other way of regulating it. But I think there should be a way to force them. But jail is kind of harsh. But I mean, what are they supposed to do?
Well, if jail's harsh, then prison is super duper harsh, right? So it's funny we talking about this right now because Chef Dennis, as he joins, he had a podcast episode where he touched on the subject, right? And his guest was saying it's like stealing, and yes, it's a crime. And I was agreeing with him when we both said it's not a crime, right? And you said it's not a crime as well, but you said it's somewhat, right? Like I think it's 1,000% not a crime. You when you lock that father up, what are you gaining? Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna get it. You crying about not getting child support. If that man is locked up now, he can't work, he can't provide.
Yeah, that's
so
why
you're definitely not gonna get that child support. I got you. So, Chef Dennis, you got something you want to say? Chef,
say it again.
I said you got some input. You got some Can you hear me?
As far as that, yeah. As far as child support,
yeah.
No, that's not a crime. That's not a crime. Not taking care of your kids. It's bigger than just going to prison. If you don't take care of your kids, you gotta listen. What's detrimental is the children. The children. You know what I'm saying, are being hurt from that. So it's a bigger domino effect when you're not being a father to your children. So they're affected by it the most, and it's more detrimental to them, more opposed to the father. So the father really lose out for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? The children don't want the kids don't want to deal with them. So it's more emotional where they get hurt at. You know what I'm saying? So some people don't see it that way, but reality, listen, we need, just like our children need us. At the end of the day, when we get older, we need our children, because those are the ones that's going to have sympathy for us and take care of us if we do the right thing to them. You know what I'm saying? They'll come along and say,
and they also,
I'll take care of you.
Yeah, they keep us grounded, right? That's all I want to say. Your kids also keep you grounded. Or at least it should be if you care about your kids, right? It's a lot of things, like as the world changes, right? we have to try to move and change with the times. But a lot of us, it's hard for us to do that, right? So when you have your kids, now they're in the younger generation, they can teach us something just like we can teach them something. And a lot of older people look at it like, if you're younger than me, you can't teach me nothing. And that means they're narrow-minded. And that's apropos, because for me, the topic is, a weak man. I feel like a weak man or a weak mother or weak woman, whatever, that's what make you weak, when you narrow-minded, right? I think you got to broaden your horizons. I think you got to be open-minded to be strong, right? Because if you live in a bubble, that's all you know, and that doesn't make you strong. That makes you weak, in my opinion. But my bad for cutting you off. Finish what you were saying.
No, I was done. But with that, you got to remember, though, how I came on, because Mr. Jarvis, I was listening to his comments, which you really got to listen. Yeah. It's a slippery slope, because when you talk about weak, listen, what what he was describing was that's a trait that everybody has. Complaining is something that we all do. You know what I'm saying? That's not more of a feminine work, a characteristic, because guess what? We complain. We might be in a rush to go somewhere, and we're like, man, come on, man. See, you feel me? You in the car, you like, yo, let's go. Come on, man. And no patience. So now because you're not patient, you're so animated. You're like, yo, let's go. You complain about, yo, man, what you doing up there? Not really knowing what's going on up in the head. You know what I'm saying? You in the car and people doing all that type of stuff. They impatient. So when they impatient, they do those type of things.
I didn't say road rage. No, I said whining. It's a difference.
Whining is part of complaining. That's part of complaining.
It could be part of complaining, but you can't use complaining as a whole. I said whining is the effeminate trait. It's a difference.
Is it?
So I get what both of y'all saying. Like, that's a good question.
What
is it? Complaining?
What
whining?
I agree with both of y'all, but like if you whine, I think
whining is that
to a certain degree. I think
you're trying to do wordplay, right?
No, because watch this. Don't people watch this? I'm Mr. Black always say this. LeBron James whines. He complains, right? He complaining. But no, it's not. See, you got to look at it from a different perspective, because guess what? That's part of his strategy. It's like, oh my goodness, he's so animated. Yo, he get hit. He really don't get hit, so he animated, right? But people say he complain, he whine, right? But it's part of his character when it's coming to the basketball. It comes to basketball. I've seen it, so I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm agreeing with what he's saying is that LeBron do that so he can get the calls. He's so animated, but you gotta look at you gotta look at it from a different perspective. It's animated, and what he's doing is selling the call. That's what he's doing. He's selling the call. Is it so weak? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that's weak. You know what it's like?
No, I'm just.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on that though. See, something like what that, even if LeBron was complaining and whining, the reason what makes that difference because it's like an actor. I'm doing that as an act. It's not my real characteristic. That's an act. That's what I'm doing for that purpose. So when you acting, it's not that. I'm talking about a man who has that characteristic. If you're always whining and shit, I think that's an effeminate trait. It can't be something that happens.
That's why
or because you like. Let's say if somebody you stub your toe and you're like, oh God, that don't make you effeminate because it's something that caused it. But if you're just always whining about stuff, yes, because now that's part of your persona, that you're just a whining, complaining dude. Like that is what makes you effeminate. Not because something happened because you was in traffic. That doesn't happen every single day, and that's who you are. If you got in the car and started the engine and you was whining about something, yes, that means you're effeminate because you're just doing it for no purpose, no reason.
All right, so give us an example of whining.
I mean, be part of who you are, like what you do on a regular basis.
Well, that's why I say I agree with both of y'all, because I understood where both of y'all was going with it. So Jarvis is basically saying like somebody that's like what we would call a sissy or a punk. There's somebody that no matter what happens in life, it could be the smallest thing or the biggest thing, and they oh no, stop. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a Norbit or like an Urkel or somebody like that. Like you know what I'm saying? That's not like in touch with reality. Basically a man that lives, breathes, shits, eats, acts like a woman. That's what he's getting at. Where like you can be like your girlfriend or your wife can be like, babe, I'm hungry. Where you want to go? Oh my God, why are you putting the pressure on me? That's what he means. Like whining, like not grabbing his balls and being a man. He means it's like being a sissy every day of his life, every hour is like that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah. Like that's
like you could be like, hey, what's wrong? Oh my God, why you gotta keep asking me these questions? That's what he means by whining all the time. So like I get it, but I get what you saying too. Like you know what I'm saying? So, but I would say that like Jarvis is more valid with where he's going with it, right? Because he's talking about on a larger scale, right? Like no, like just think about it. Would you ever be like, no matter what the question is, you just conceded to your wife, babe, why you putting the pressure on me? Like you could be like, oh, babe, I want to take a vacation. Where you want to go? He's like, oh, it's too much pressure. You decide. Like, would you be that man? And that's what I think. That's what Jarvis. That's where he's going with it. You know what I'm saying? Me and you we was initially, me and you was looking at it differently, but when he said whining and complaining, being a whiner, that's what he means, like punk. He said being a punk. That's what he means. You know? So real quick, I just want to define the word crime, right? So it says a crime, an action or omission that constitutes an offense that may be prosecuted by the state or punishable by law. So not paying child support does not fit that description, right? Then it says an illegal activity. Again, it's nothing illegal about not paying child support, you know? And or it could be an action or activity, though not sometimes it may not be illegal, but it's considered to be evil, shameful, or wrong. Now that's where some people might say it's debatable because not paying child support, I think it's morally wrong, but it's not a crime. But not paying child support, some people say that is shameful, that is wrong, that is evil. Some people might look at it that way. But if you do something that's shameful, you're not by law, you're not going to prison. What do you go to prison for? Like if you murder somebody, if you rape somebody, things of that nature, something severe, right? I say not paying child support is morally wrong, but it's not a crime. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about that? We'll start with Chef Dennis since he came on second. Oh, Chef Dennis first.
But you do know why people go to jail for non-child support, right?
No, I'm not asking you why they go to jail. I'm asking you, do you agree with it, and what's your thoughts? That's what I want to know.
To go to jail for non-child support?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, that the whole thing of going to jail for non-child support, I don't agree with. But
okay,
when you look at it, they require you to take care of your child. So basically, they force you to take care of your child, and they saying, listen, this is something that you created a child, so then they put you on a scale of how much you're supposed to pay, and so it's not about non-child support, it's a court order. So these are the things you're supposed to do. Now, once it gets to a certain limit, now they say, okay, you're not taking care of your child, so now we're gonna take your license first. If it's not your license, they say, okay, now you're gonna do jail time. So what basically they said, it's a penalty to have a child and not take care of. Do I agree with that? No, but when you look at the law, that's the reason why the law does that. But you just look at statistics, it's not really, you don't really see, a lot of white people that go through this. It's minorities that go through non-child support. So it's really when you look at the whole big picture, it statistics says that more minorities, which is Spanish, Black, they have to, deal with that more so than white people, Asian, outside of this country.
But the majority is Black. The majority is Black. That's what makes us look bad. But continue.
No, but that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
It's Black and Spanish, but the majority is Blacks.
Yeah,
you heard me.
Yeah. I say yeah.
I mean,
it
makes us look better.
It's all about keeping us in line.
Yeah, you're right.
I hear you,
but
you can't see.
But once you get locked up or something, it really don't keep us aligned because you get locked up, okay, you do the time you shouldn't do, right, and then the cycle repeats itself. And then what happens is the jails and the prisons get overpopulated, and then they like, oh dang, we need to go up on taxes. We got to charge the tax-paying people like us more money so we can build bigger jails or more jails. But like, if you think about criminal acts and you think about who's locked up, you're like, certain people should not be locked up. Like I said, not paying child support for me is morally wrong, right? But let's switch this over to Jarvis. What are your thoughts on imprisonment or jail time for not paying child support?
Like I said earlier, like I don't think that anybody should go to jail for not paying, but they just don't have a better. And I don't think that even the government wants to send you to jail. They just don't have a better way of doing it. Like Terrell said, or Chef Dennis said, that it's a process, right? So it's like you go through stages, and it's like they're throughout those stages, they're trying to get you to just do it, and you got to go through different points until they say, okay, we're gonna lock you up, because it's like the message is not getting clear to you. So I think that's a problem in itself. Like I think if they had another way they can exclude prison and get it from you, I think they would. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they just don't know. And then they do the jail because they feel like if you go to jail behind all this shit, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm just gonna pay it. But but the bad part about it is once you're locked up, right? You get further behind. So when you get out, you be in the rear, and then you're not able to catch up, and then you're not able to do it. So that system is flawed. So jail is a bad way. It's bad. I just think and that's why they would.
And that's what I was trying to get at, right? So like, all right. So for me, let me say this. So, since we talk about child support, if a man is paying child support each month, do you feel as though he should be expected to pay more, such as like school supplies, food for the kids, clothes for the kids, whatever falls in that category? Do you feel like if a man is paying child support, they should do more? That's the question I'm going to ask Jarvis first, then we're going to switch to the chef.
100%.
Why is that?
Because let's just say this, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. Child support is not the same thing. It doesn't equate to what it takes to actually raise a kid. It doesn't equate at all.
Okay.
Like this.
All right, not to cut you off. Let me ask you. All right, go ahead. Finish that first. Go ahead. I was about to say, like you said, to raise a kid. Like, so obviously, if you're paying child support, you don't have custody of that child. So you're not technically, by definition, you're not raising the kid. Like, if your baby mom's got the kid, she's the one raising them. So if you're paying child support, what are you talking about?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So child support is just money, right? And the reason why you should do more. Let me give you an example, right? You got a pen with you, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I gotta write something down.
I mean, it just might be better, right? So let's just think about a number. Let's just throw a random number up there, right? Let's just say, right? And you can tell me the numbers, right? But I want to give you an example, right? Let's say you live by yourself, right? How much do you think the rent would be for a 1-bedroom place that you're staying in?
Oh,
just stop and
time
just
out
answer.
Before I answer that question. Oh, for by myself? Oh, for rent?
Yeah.
It depends on location. It depends on location. Well, let's just say
make up the numbers. You can make it up.
Let's say, all right. Let's say you're paying $1,000 a month.
Okay, put it down. 1,000. That's what you pay by yourself. Put it down.
Okay.
Right. Boom. Right. Now, how much do you think it costs to feed a child a month?
To feed a child a month.
Yeah, and let's just say your child is.
Wait. How old is the kid?
Let's just say 5 years old.
A 5-year-old. Let me grab this calculator. Now you make me do math. Hold on.
Yeah.
In a month, right?
Yeah. You know how much groceries are now?
I'm gonna say about I'm gonna say about $550
to feed a child. $550 a month.
Yeah.
You think so? I think a little
just
less.
Just that child, not just no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go less. Where you want to go?
It's up to you. I said you make up the numbers.
All right. So let's say $500 a month.
All right. Boom. Right now, how much you think it's going to cost for random things like clothes and stuff for that child a month? Now, I know they don't need clothes every single month, so you can just take a year and then break it down.
So, like a month, clothing wise, I honestly, you might disagree. I'm gonna say $100.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
How much do you think that child's going to cost your electric bill for the things that you need the electric on for that child a month?
See, this is the thing. This is my problem with it.
Just work with me. Just work with me.
For that child, electric?
Yeah. For whatever.
See, hold on. I gotta say this.
Okay.
I gotta say this because the electric is not just you. Now you're talking about the whole household.
I know that. That's why I said you can make up the numbers you want to. Just work with what I'm saying.
$0.
So a child won't use no lights. They won't use nothing. You won't have to heat them up. No food. You don't have to do none. You don't have to put no TV on for them. You don't have to put no devices on for them.
But this is what I'm getting at with this.
We'll leave it at $0. We'll leave it at $0. Cool. I'm cool with that. Add to your gas to take them to daycare every single day, to run them to the park and stuff a month. I'm just work with me so I can show you something.
$10. And the reason why I say $10 is because because the reason why I said it because by law your child has to attend a daycare or school in your township. And your township is not huge. There's no township in the USA that's big where you're paying more than that. Because you got to figure if gas is if you can get 15 miles on a gallon, and a gallon's only $3 or something. Let's say $4 for a gallon. Think about it's 15 miles on a gallon. Yeah, so that's why I said $10.
But you also but you're talking about a whole month. So you never taking your kid to the park. You're never taking them to any kind of event.
You ain't say that. You said no. You
I did say the park.
Said to daycare.
I said school and a park. I said daycare.
I could have sworn you said daycare.
I said and the park.
All right. Well, going to the park is not a necessity. So
we're not talking about necessity. But you know, children need that in their life for fun. You're gonna entertain your kids, so you gotta add it in.
All right. So give me a number and I'm gonna write it down.
I'll say 50.
Hold on. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
D and Jarvis, but you do look. Just look at this from because I was listening to you. All right. I just want to chime in real quick. child support is really supposed to be for the non-active fathers. So you do have fathers that pay child support.
Yeah,
that pay child support, right? And because they say they pay child support, I am not going to deal with the child. So, with that being said, you're going to get hit over the head because when they got to pay child support, they're not going to be active. But now when you have an active father and the woman wants to put you on child support, right? Listen, anything that comes outside of that child support is solely to the father. He said, look, I'm going to do this because he loves his kids. So so regardless of what you do outside of your child support, it has to be, listen, you should be able to communicate with the woman, if it's possible, communicate with her. Look, all right, look, I'm going to pay child support, but listen, I want my daughter or my son on every other holiday, every other 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. You guys should be able to communicate that, so it won't be so detrimental to it's hurting the child and the man. Because when you pay child support, it's really for the man. It ain't for the woman. You know what I'm saying?
But
so you look at that, and that.
But
that
you got to understand. You got to understand what the question was, Chef. What he said was this. He said, if you are paying child support, should you also pay more for other things? And I said, yes, because what you said is correct, right? Let's say you're paying child support and you agree with the woman and you get your child. Aren't you going to spend extra money on them?
That's what I was explaining. That's what I just
you may or may not, but what I said, should you?
Yes,
I said, should you?
Do you agree, Chef?
That's why I explained it. That's why I was explaining it. Yes, you got to, because guess what? Right. At the end of the day, if there is entertainment that you want to partake with your children,
yes, that's what I'm.
You want to partake with those children. That's solely from your heart. I never said
it wouldn't happen.
You said should you? In the answer,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You got to. You have to. Bro. It's no question. You have to, because guess what? When your sons come over to your house, guess what? And they say, Dad, let's go play basketball. I want to go to AAU basketball. And they ain't good enough. Guess what? You're going to pay that money for them to go to AAU basketball. Because guess what? Look, I love you, son. You ain't saying I pay child support and I'm not going to take you there. I'm not going to do those things. Nah, you going to have fun. You engaging with your son.
Look, listen, hold on. Truth be told, it's a lot of fathers that's like that, right?
And that's where they slant to the deadbeat side.
No, I don't agree. Because let me tell you something. Listen, let's not forget. Listen, let's not forget the fact.
Two people against one.
It's okay. Listen to me. Let's not forget the fact.
Gotta be wrong.
Listen to me. Let's not forget the fact that besides paying child support, we as men, right? We also get our paychecks docked, right? They take extra money out of isn't that not double jeopardy? Because now you paying child support. How? Listen to me. When men get put on child support, or women, it's rarely a woman, but when a man gets put on child support, they paying child support, their paychecks also gets docked.
No, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there. For a person who don't pay child support and never have, right? Your paycheck only gets docked if you have not a mutual agreement to pay the woman directly. When you stop paying her, they're like, we're going to garnish your paycheck. That's the only reason. They don't do that when you come to a mutual agreement.
That applies to you. You don't pay child support through the courts, bro. All right.
If you pay through the courts and you agree to pay her, they do not dock your pay until you don't pay.
Yes,
Dennis,
Chef, you've been on child support for a long time. You pay child support. Do they or do they not still take money from your paycheck? You there?
So what happens?
I think he froze.
There's a court order that goes to. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right. So when the court order goes to your job, they garnish your wages.
That's what I mean, garnishing. That's why I say getting docked. Yes, but if you pay child support, you still get them garnished. That's double jeopardy.
Yeah, because No. If you pay child support,
all right.
right, the court order goes to your job. They automatically take it out your check. You're doing a lot of breaking up, so you gotta bear with us because I see.
No, yeah, I see that too, but I don't think that's me though, because my shit say 100%, but it's me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I say, look, yeah, because it says recording error on my end. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it says recording error. Is it still live?
Yeah,
It's live.
It's still live. But yeah, so you get your wages are garnished, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take money out your check every week, every 2 weeks. That's it.
It might be him because it might be
You heard
him.
me?
That's what I said.
You heard me, D?
No, it's you, definitely you, because I can hear Jarvis, but it's you. I think it's on your end because you. All right, now it says you're not froze. But go ahead. What was you saying?
I said, did you hear what I said about garnishing? That's how your money get garnished.
Well, no, me and Jarvis couldn't hear you. Me and Jarvis, we could hear each other, but it was breaking up on your end.
Okay, I say your garnish is when you get a court order and you go to court and they order child support, it goes to your employer and they garnish your wages. And when they garnish your wages, it automatically comes out. Now I've paid child support, right? And I don't pay no more child support. My kids are grown, but I paid child support. But then also, when I was,
but when you pay,
when I was married,
listen,
hold on.
When you pay child support, okay.
When I was married to my first wife, right? I didn't go through the courts. What I did is I had a mutual understanding. We had an agreement. I would pay her a certain amount of money, right? I'll be honest. I'm always transparent. I paid her $600 a month, right? Gave her $600 a month, and whatever me and Imani did outside of that, I didn't care because you know what? It's me and her time. So when we went on trips, it was all on me.
You don't care. The question I asked, I get it. I said you don't care. That's a super dad. What the question was?
No super dad.
Should a man be required to pay more money? No, that's a super dad. Wait, you saying yes? Yes to what?
Yes, they should be required. It's not a super dad. That's a regular dad.
It's a regular dad. That's it.
Okay.
See, the ones who don't.
Okay, all right.
The ones who don't pay extra for their kid. That's what slopes the slopes them on that line of being a deadbeat because they're like, like child support is because you're not there raising them. That's right there. You're not there raising them. That's what the child support is for. But when you have your kids,
if you're paying child support, that means you're not raising them. If you're paying child support, that means you're not raising them. The mother is.
Let me finish. Raising them has nothing. It's not.
Okay.
It's not you taking care of them or you spending time with them. Raising them means you're not in the household waking them up. You're not cooking them breakfast. You're not doing those things. Therefore, that money is to help that woman out with that kid's expenses while they're in their house. When they at your house, there's a whole other expense. You got to take care of your kid when they with you.
No. Hell no. Paying child support is for that kid only, not the baby mama.
I didn't say it's for the baby mother. You didn't hear what I just said? It's to help her support that kid.
I did. You said to help that mother
support that kid. That means support means give that kids the things that they need. That's what support is. Give that kid what the kid needs. You need extra clothes. You need extra supplies. You need this. That's what that money goes to. Support that kid.
Okay. I get you. But this is the thing. If a lot more times than none, right? The father pays enough for that child to maintain and survive. And that the mother still calls them a deadbeat and say they're not doing enough because they want some money for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's not fair. All right, for instance, let's look at like
that's the wrong woman though.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. It's like those are the ones that's throwing around women who just like, if you don't do something, because they just gonna say
hey Des, look, there is no woman, no woman in this world, on this earth, is going to just say, all right, me and the father don't work out. You know what? Here, you take the kids. They're not going to do that. That's not even in their nature. So it's not. I feel like it's not fair. Period. No, it's not fair. I'm saying, before I say this, it's not fair that they feel that way, because there are fathers out here that we like. You know what? You go ahead and do whatever you want. Give my kids with me. But no woman is going to do that. They're not going to do that, because guess what? They want their children.
And I agree.
Come on. So child support is really not. It's against the man. Period. But at the end of the day, no woman is going to say, here's the kids, take them, you take them. You know what? And I'm going to go my merry way. They're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Even a drug addict mother.
Yeah, no,
I agree. Even a drug addict mother or a woman that say, I don't want kids, but I know it's a benefit to put like having kids because I can put the father on child support. That's more money for me because I can go buy drugs. I can buy things for myself. And that's why the world and society is fucked up, bro. So that's all I'm saying. It's so you was breaking up before. No, I get it, but you broke up before. So my thing is this: if when you was on child support, you was paying child support, and you was also getting your paychecks garnished, correct? Yes or no?
He's thinking about the rears.
Huh?
All right. When you was on child support.
Oh no. I was in rears before. Oh no, you get the rears. If you in the rears,
but before the rears,
what they do is
but before the rears. Go ahead. I never been on child support. That's what I'm asking you.
If you're in the rears, they're gonna add more.
What I was asking was, yeah. All right, Jarvis brought the rears. I said, when you're on child support, do they or do they not garnish your paychecks, and you still got to pay child support? You got to load money onto a card, correct?
No, right? You want to know? You want the answer? I'm giving you the answer. No, I'm giving you the answer.
All right, go ahead.
There is a court order that is in place. It goes to your employer,
right?
And they say every 2 weeks, every week, this comes out your check. That's it. Your employer say, all right, let's say you got $700 coming out your check every 2 weeks, right? Your employer, what they do is they send it to $700 from your employer goes to child support. That's it. They send it now. Child support send it to the mother.
So maybe I was misinformed. I was always told that when you're on child support, they garnish your paycheck, and you still got to put money on a card for the child support. That's what I was always told.
In the rears.
Right.
When you're in the rears,
yes.
And most people are in the rears because they might have got locked up, which now they've been locked up for 30, 45 days, 6 months, and then they're in the rears for that many months. And then they come back like, damn, now I gotta get my check garnished, plus I gotta pay the rears. So it's like that's a double dip. Yes. That happens. Sometimes people got multiple baby moms, they get the rears from both of them, they come home with no check. But for the most part, like it's
so all right, so let me say this. So let me say this. I've also been told that a weak man is a man that's not family oriented, driven, caring, compassionate, right? So let's unpack this layer by layer for a minute, right? So to be family oriented, right? That means prioritizing family relationships, right? And supporting systems. It means being close to family members and supporting them, always willing to lend a helping hand, take care of each other during the good times and the bad times, right? Do you agree with that? Y'all heard me?
Yeah.
Read it again.
So you agree that okay. So what I was saying is, so to be family oriented, right? It means prioritizing family relationships and supporting systems. It means to bring family close. It means supporting them through the good times and the bad times, right? So my question was, if a person is not family oriented, does that make them a weak man?
Yes.
No.
So you think that if a man don't follow that ideology, right, that makes them a weak man? How?
Now,
I said no. I said no.
Okay. So
now,
who one of y'all start first, and then we're gonna go to the other one.
go ahead, Chef.
The reason why it doesn't make you a weak man is because you got to remember, like, poor communication will not allow you to be a family oriented man. That's number one. Number two, you have introverts, and you might be an introvert, and if you're an introvert, guess what? You're not going to be family oriented. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you a weak man because you're not a person that like to be around a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You have a selective few that you like to be around. So this, and that's just how you are. So it doesn't make you a weak person for that, because you might not be a person that like to be around a lot of people. If you don't be around a lot of people.
Well, we want to talk about people. We talk about family.
Family.
We
You
talk
still
about family.
Family. Listen, sometimes you don't want to be around people. People was family. You don't want to be around. You just like you like to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You like to be yourself. It's introvert. Introverts, right. They don't like a lot of a lot of crowd. If it's family, they might go over to one person's house and just be engaged in that one person. They don't want to be around all that. They can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make you weak. It just they can't cope with that.
I mean, okay. I dig it,
Jarvis.
I dig it, but I mean, maybe I'm thinking about a little bit something different, because I'm thinking about, when I think about what we're talking about, I kind of feel like a family, and my family is not like, oh, my entire family, my grandparents, my cousins, and all of that extra stuff. I'm talking about my household family, and if I'm a man who can't, that's part of my support, that's part of my protection, that's part of my providing, is with my family, my woman, and my children. And yes, I need to have those characteristics to be strong as a man, because that's part of the manly side of me, is to provide and to do all those things. I gotta bring them up. I gotta make sure that they stick up for each other. I make sure they're into each other, because I mean that's what the thing was. It was talking about what you got to do, and a man, a strong man, is supposed to be able to do those things. That's all part of providing and protecting. You know what I mean? So in a big picture, I agree with Dennis on that one, because hold on.
Let's say it.
I agree with him. I agree with Dennis on the big thing, because he said, when he was talking about, yes, you could be an introvert, but that's on a big scale of family. When I think family, I'm thinking close knit. Like, I feel like a strong man.
You mean the immediate family? That's what you're saying.
Immediate family, right? Yeah, because I think a strong.
Okay.
So somewhat.
No, I was listening to you. I got you. And that's the thing about life, once you dig deep into things, because you could be, and I hate to say narrow-minded, but like, you could be thinking about one thing, and then you could have a conversation with somebody, and they could bring up some other things, or they can dig real deep, and then you be like, I see where you're coming from. And that's where I find myself right now. Generally speaking, I was like, all right, me and Chef on the same page. But now that you dig it a little bit deeper, I'm like, all right, I see where you're going with this. Right? You talk about immediate family. And if you can't converse with immediate family, if you're not supporting your immediate family, meaning your wife and your kids or whatever, to me, that is a weak man. But I was talking about family as a whole, like in general, like your family, blood related. And I was like, that's where I disagree. Yeah. But if you talk about your household, I can dig it.
Hey,
go
Jarvis,
ahead, Chef.
It doesn't. Here's the thing. You have a family, right? But every man supposed to be a king? But doesn't mean that they have the king's characteristics. So you have a family, but you can't be a king. But you got listen. Yeah,
can a weak man be a king though?
No, you can't.
No,
exactly my point.
But
exactly my point.
The point that I made.
You just said that those characteristics are for a king.
Look, no, but what I'm saying to you is,
can't be a king, then you just agree with me.
No, I said no. I'm saying to you is that you have a family, right? And every man's supposed to be a king, but because he don't have the king characteristics, right? Doesn't mean that he's not. He's a weak man. He just can't be a king. He's not. He can't be a king.
So he's not weak. But I just asked you a question. I said, can a weak man be a king? You said no. So if you can't be a king because you don't have the characteristics, that makes you a weak man.
No, they don't make you a weak man.
So what does that make you then? If you got the characteristics, if you don't have the characteristics of a king, what does that make you?
An ordinary man. Ordinary.
Exactly. So that means you're not a king.
Watch this. A king is a leader.
If
right, Jarvis? And every man cannot lead.
And that's
don't make it. No, he don't have. He can't not. He don't listen. First of all, he probably never was taught how to lead.
Every man needs to be able to lead his household.
The key word, supposed to.
Exactly. So if he lacks those characteristics, it makes him a weaker version of a man.
It don't make him weak. It makes him unacknowledged.
You just said a regular man. A regular man should be able to lead his household. A regular man. So if he can't do that, he's weaker.
I agree with that.
Than a regular man.
But watch this. Before you lead, you have to follow. So what has he followed? You can't lead without following something. You got to follow something to be able to lead. So somebody got to teach you how to lead. Somebody got to teach you how to be a king. Because guess what? You're not born into kingship. You got to be taught. Never, because you got a father. Your father got to teach you how to be a king. Your father got to teach you because when you born, guess what? Your father is the king, and then you are the prince of the air. And once you become the prince,
time out. Now, I was agreeing with you until you said that. Let me tell you something.
Said what?
Now we're going to talk facts.
What's the fact?
Now, hold on, time out. Now we're going to talk facts. I'm trying to get there. Trials and tribulations in your life, that's what makes you strong. That's what makes you a strong man. That's what makes you a king. When we talk kings
no, that don't make you no
king. Hold on, time out. Hold on. No. You said if your father's a king, then it makes you a king. That's not true, because you inherit that. If your father died, you didn't. If a man,
I said prince. I said you are the prince of the air. You once your father dies, you become the king. But now, when you take it out of context and say
exactly, they don't make you strong. They don't make you.
Wait a minute, your father. If you really want to be technical, the king says. When we look at that old times, right? I'm using those as examples. Guess what? When you marry, now you become your own king. But guess what? Under your father, he teaches you how. That's why they go on in, they go on in little walks. They do their little talks. He teach you how to be a king. He teach you what you're supposed to do. He teach you how to talk to your wife. Teach your queen. He teaches you that. Guess what? That is a good way.
I want to say one thing. Hold on. I agree to that, right? But hold on for a second, right? You do have to be taught, right? Because, and this goes with what Des was talking about too, because your trials and tribulations are what teaches you, and your father could teach you, right? Because he could teach you by being an example. Hold on. He could teach you by being an example of what you want to be, and he can teach you by being an example of what you're not trying to be. But what I was saying is you don't have to follow, because if your father is whack and he's doing something wrong and you do not do what he does, you didn't follow him. So you do not have to follow to become a king. But do you have to be taught? Yes. I agree to that. Because all the
through
things
trials and tribulations,
experience will teach you, but you do not have to follow, because you're not always going to be like the previous king, because he could be bad and you want to be good, so you don't have to follow that.
Right.
That's what all I'm saying. But I agree to the part of
you have to
taught.
At the end of the day, you got to create your own identity. So a deadbeat father, since we saw deadbeats, fathers have kids. So is a deadbeat going to teach their child how to be a real man? Hell no. So if a deadbeat father have kids and their kids grow up to be just like their fathers, that makes them a deadbeat. So to make them a king or king worthy, they have to learn through trials and tribulations. They're going to have to sit there and test the waters and jump through the fire and learn on their own and say, this ain't working, this is working. They got to make their own fucking decisions. That's what I mean. When you talk about kings, you're a king, and if you have a son, that automatically makes them the prince. If you die, they automatically become the king because they was your son. That doesn't mean that they followed you. They put no effort, no work, no nothing into it. They automatically get that title. That does not make them a leader.
All right, so you want me hold on. Now you want me to reiterate, because obviously it went over both of y'all heads. So what I'm saying to you is that the idea that I'm using and I'm giving you this thing, I'm speaking specifically about a good leader, okay? A good king. I'm not talking about, we're not giving you no examples of a bad king. You know what's good and we know what's bad. We got that. So I'm talking about strictly from the perspective of a good person, a good king. Now, if you're a good king, guess what? You're going to teach your son how to be a great king to his family, and to the people that follow him. That's why I use the king, because I am a king.
But that's what we go with, a good king and a bad king. Yes.
But
you look at yourself as being positive and the good.
That's it.
But what if you was a bad king?
No, and I get that.
What if you was a bad king?
That's an option. So that's an option you can look at. But we're not speaking from. I'm not speaking from that perspective. I'm speaking from a good king. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they have bad kings, but as a whole,
individually, it's bad kings, it's good kings.
Right. So you got, I'm talking from a good perspective. I'm talking from a good mind. You know what I'm saying? A positive mind. Right. Now, you do have kings or fathers that do not do the right thing, and then guess what? The son can learn, say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? They can learn from that too. But listen, if you have this mindset of saying, I'm not going to follow period, I'm going to do my own thing. Guess what? Then you're going to have trials and tribulations, and you're going to have all these mishaps and everything. You're going to have that. But if you say, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Put like this. In every good leader, right? They learned how to follow first before they lead. A good leader, you feel me? A good leader has to learn how to follow first, because guess what? They have the open mind to be taught, and not saying it's going to be my way or the highway. It's going to be, this is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? So they understand that, you know what? Let me sit back and me learn the way. Let me see how X, Y, and Z is doing it. Okay, you know what? I don't want that. I want that. No, I don't want that. See, they're able to navigate through what they can use versus what they can't use. So they'll be a good leader, not like the person that they follow. You know what I'm saying? That you look at, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't see it that way, but when you really look at the whole totality, that's what a good leader really looks at. Like a teacher, Jarvis, does like a teacher. You got good teachers, you got bad teachers. Now, every teacher don't have the same teaching skills. So you got somebody teaching you. You say, no, I don't like Mr. Black. He he not enthused. He always come like, all right, class, sit down and do like this. He not engaged with us. So you really ain't trying to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? You nixing them off like, whatever. I'm just do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying, Jarvis?
Yeah, but I still don't agree with you gotta be a follower to be a great leader.
When I say follower, I'm not talking. It depends on who you following. Because you look.
Wait, hold on, Chef. Hold on, Chef. Let me say this. Hold on.
Yeah.
If you so it's a baby. Everybody is a baby born dead, right, Jarvis?
What?
You hear me?
Yeah, I heard you a little bit.
Every baby is a baby born dead, correct?
I know where you're going with it, so I can say yeah.
Did you hear me? So like it like you don't know nothing until you learn. And if you to learn something, you got to follow something, correct? You got to follow a curriculum or a lesson or a teaching. You have to follow. So you cannot be a good leader without following. So I agree with Chef. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I hear what you're saying.
Lead something without the knowledge. Hold on. You cannot hold on. You cannot lead something without following something. You got to follow a direction, a definition, or something. So once you have that knowledge, right now you could be the leader. Without having the knowledge, you cannot be that leader. So I'm gonna pause right there and let you speak.
I think that you're trying to prey on words with being teachable or coachable versus following. Like what you're saying is that you're a person that learns and observes and pays attention and can take from that and utilize it for the better good versus being followed. Like following something is almost like duplicating. It's like imitating. It's like being a student of that. If I'm listening to something and I don't take from it, but because I understand and I'm like, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but this is the truth. And that doesn't mean I followed anything. It means that I'm coachable, I'm teachable, and I can learn from other people's errors. What am I really following? I hear what you're saying. If you want to pray on words, like I follow a curriculum, a method, and all of that. So,
hey, do you see the comment?
Yeah, but they didn't.
Comments is blowing up right now.
But listen, but what she's saying is that she learned something. Learning is not necessarily following something, because if I learn
it's following the order. Following the order.
Thank you, Chef.
You want to pray on definitions and stuff, and that's not what it's about. When we're talking about being a leader and we're talking about following, what are you talking about? You followed a curriculum, or you followed a method, or you followed a like. Come on, man. Come on, y'all.
All right. Jarvis,
you have to.
Hold on, Chef. Hold on, Chef. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
He got a lag.
All right, he ain't saying that, so I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said it must be
a leader, right? Like if you don't follow, when you leading, right, you have to lead by example. You have to lead by something that you learn, right? You can't be a true leader if you don't have knowledge of. And if everybody that's born into society, into this world, is born brain dead, that means you have to learn something before you can preach something or before you can teach something, right? So in order to teach something or preach something, you learned it from somewhere. And to learn it from somewhere, that means somebody led you to that belief or led you to that understanding. So, and that's where I'm getting at. You have to learn from somebody or something, trials and tribulations, before you can call yourself a leader. Because if we were born brain dead, we don't know nothing about life. We have to learn it from somebody or something. So, to be a leader, you have to understand. You have to acknowledge. You have to listen. Do we all agree or no?
Yeah, but that's not
Chef.
That's not following though. But I agree with what you're saying.
It is. And how can you teach something if you don't follow somebody's message? If you listen to somebody that came before you and taught you something, guess what? You're following their beliefs or their ideas. That is following. You can't learn. If we're born brain dead, we have to learn from something.
Hey, Jarvis.
Or somebody. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
Jarvis.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Jarvis? Jarvis, can you hear me? Look. You're not look. If you don't follow anybody that learn how to be a king, right? You will never know how to be a king. You'll never know how to be a king. You won't know how to lead your family because you know what was taught. You're grown, right? You're an adult. So how are you going to be a king if no one ever told you how to be a king? There are things you got to be taught. Someone has to teach you. You're not going to learn. Listen, you're not going to learn on your own. You're going to try to, right? But guess what? If you don't read about it, if you don't study, right? Somebody has to teach you how to be a king. So guess what? If you want to be a great king, you got to read about it. You got to study. And guess what? It could be whoever you decide to listen to, and whatever knowledge that they're giving you, say, you know what? That I like that. So you know what? That's the ability to follow. Someone's giving you the blueprint of how to be a king, how to be a leader, how to provide, how to do the necessary things for your family. And guess what? That's what I said. I use king because guess what? That's ultimately that's a high position. That's a high responsibility. I put myself there because guess what? I take on that responsibility. I am the man that I'm supposed to be for my family. I protect them. I provide for them. You know what I'm saying? I lead them to not just destruction but success.
Real quick, did y'all read that comment right there? Because I got two more to put up there. So that's why I want to know if y'all ready.
This is what I'm gonna say to save the conversation. Right? To save the conversation, I'm gonna say this. If y'all say that being able to learn something from someone, if that's what you consider following someone, okay.
You follow the Bible, Jarvis?
I don't understand how you don't agree though. There you go. Oh, preach. He teaching right now.
You follow the Bible, Jarvis?
I gave my reasoning and I'm gonna leave it there.
But do you follow the Bible?
No.
I'm not gonna get on that right now.
Oh wow.
No,
you're not gonna get on.
That's deep.
Because I do, but that's another long conversation.
But hold on, wait a minute. I just used the word that you just said.
Following.
That you don't believe in.
Following. That's what.
Do you follow the Bible? Said yes. So guess what?
But listen though. Guess why I followed the Bible? Right?
No, we don't look. That's your personal. No, I just
wait,
all I'm saying.
Chef,
that's your personal
Chef,
thing, right?
Chef, let him speak. Hold on. Yeah.
I didn't follow the Bible because I learned that from someone else. See what I'm saying? From what I've been taught in the Bible actually led me to read it for myself, and now I follow it because I read it for myself. That's different. That's completely different than what you're talking about. You're talking about I had to look at someone else do something or listen to someone else teach me something, and now I follow. That's not what I'm saying.
Somebody presented the Bible to me.
I said this. I said if you say that learning from something or someone is following them, I agree with you. If that's what you're tying together as one word, then I agree with you.
And listen, hey Chef, he just conceded to what we were saying. So look, I just put a comment up there from all like y'all's nephew. Yeah, y'all see that?
No, that is incorrect. That is incorrect.
You don't see it?
Yeah, that is incorrect though.
What about that comment? What you think?
That's what I just said. I disagree with that because she said you had to learn from someone. No, actually learning from some other people was turning me away from it until I read it for myself.
But is that not like
someone wrote the Bible, though.
Right? Like we talk about
someone wrote the Bible.
Right.
So it's coming from it's coming from God. God inspired somebody to write the Bible, and when they wrote the Bible, guess what?
Right.
These are the things as you read, these are the things that orders, laws that you have to follow.
Exactly. But so I didn't say I didn't say that you can't. There's nothing that you follow in life. That's not what I said. You said that you have to follow something or someone to be a leader. We're going off topic by talking about me following
listen. Hey,
that's nothing to do with me being a leader.
Hey, Jarvis, you know what stewardship is?
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Here we go. This is great. Keep going.
You know what stewardship is, right? Hello, I'm just asking a question. Yes or no? You know what stewardship means, right? Huh?
You can't see me, yeah, man. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So guess what? This is the same. Mm-hmm. If you're not taught how to be a father, you just winging it. You winging it. You're not. So nobody
can't be a great father.
You're going to be a poor father.
How to be a father, and you're winging it. Does that mean that you can't be? Because your experience of trial and tribulation can make you a great father, even if you wasn't taught it, right?
No, you going. I said you just
could it not? Could it or could it not?
No, you're not gonna. You could not. What now? What?
Could it or could it not make you a great father if you was winging it? Could it or could it not? If there's a possibility, you went against what you said. If it's a possibility at all, if you are winging it, could you ever be a good father? Yes or no?
You could be. Yes. You could be a good father. Yeah.
You didn't have to follow nobody because you just said if you didn't get taught. See what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So how does? Wait a minute, brother. You said see what you're saying. Wait a minute. So guess what? First of all, in order for you to be a great father, homeboy, you're going to have to learn how to go. And if you never knew how to make grits, you got to go learn. How you going to learn how to make grits if you don't know? Guess what?
You got to go trial and tribulation.
No, brother, you know what you're going to do? A smart person is going to go to the dictionary or go and find out how to make grits. That means you're going to listen to somebody. Somebody say, yo, you can make it like this. You got to be able to do that. So and guess what?
You trying to say
I'll just give you.
But you using cooking instructions to be the father.
Because you don't know how to cook. You don't know how to cook.
Let's say you had a child, right? And you had a child out in the wilderness, and then that's what your life was. You had a plane crash, and you and your child was out in the wilderness in the jungle, and you did not get taught how to be a father. Do you say it is impossible for you to be a great father for your kid out in the wilderness? Is that what you're saying? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Because guess what? We all have survival skills. Survival. Now you're in survival mode. Let's stop playing now. Come on, man. But does that mean you can't be a great father?
No, you're going to be surviving now. Now you want to
be a great father surviving.
No, not a great father. You're going to be surviving mode. Right. You're not going to be a great father. You're surviving. protection. But guess what? We living in the wilderness. Now I got to protect my child solely. We're not dealing with no money. We're not dealing with nothing. We're in the wilderness, and I have to protect
father.
That's what I said. You said we in a crash, a plane crash. I'm only going by what you said. I give you an example.
So if
we in a plane crash. We ain't going to deal with no.
Let's freeze there. Let's freeze there. What do you think being a great father is?
Me?
That's a good question.
Look, great
because
father.
If you're in the wilderness and you meet that criteria that you're about to say, then you're still a great father. So go ahead.
Guess what? I'm around now. I'm living in
go
the
ahead.
wilderness.
What's the great father? Break it down.
No, we're in the wilderness. All I got to do is provide food and protect them. That's it. So we got to find a place to sleep.
If you do that, are you a great father?
I'm surviving.
If you do it, are you a great father?
No,
you put it. Listen, you heard what I said. I'm giving you the context you want to do. You can't because now because of the context that he using. Guess what? There is no great father in that. It's surviving now. So guess what? We live in the wilderness. So guess what? Now I'm a provider. That is solely it.
Yeah, you backwards. You messed up.
No, I'm not backwards. We just surviving.
I get it. You want to the narrative.
Time out.
That's what you want to do. I'm giving you. Yes, you giving me some narrative.
It's not worth it.
I don't agree with that. Like he said, does that make you a great father? That means you providing, but that doesn't make you a great father. Because providing is more. So if hold on, time out. If you're in the wilderness with your kids, and when we talk about survival is more so about self. So if you're doing things for survival, you're not really worried about anybody beyond self. So what he's saying is you worried about survival. You gotta survive. Your kid, like yourself, becomes before your kids, no matter what you say. So that doesn't make you a great father. What he's saying is a great father put the kids before themselves.
I don't know who that was directed to because I don't think neither one of us was saying that.
Oh, my bad. I'm wrong. I'm my bad.
This is what I was saying, right? I was saying simply this. I want to know, forget the wilderness situation because I only said that because I wanted to see. He said if you were never taught, right? So what I'm saying is this. What makes a great father, period?
My opinion, since you asked, I think a great father is somebody that gives their all for the well-being of themselves and their kids. And I don't think there's no in between. I don't think there's nothing further than that. If you do, if mentally and wholeheartedly, if you say, I'm gonna do whatever I can for myself and my kids, I think you're a great father.
Okay.
My opinion.
Terrell, Dennis, what do you think makes a great father?
Mentally, spiritually, provide patience. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So all these characteristics makes a great father. Emotional, spiritually, and providing, patience, love. These things make a great father. And it's more, but those are the top of my head right there. Those things right there.
And that's fine. And that's fine. So my point, the reason why I wanted to know that is because if your plane crashed and you was in the wilderness and you still met that criteria, that still makes you a great father. It doesn't matter where you are doing it.
Listen, if you want, if that's your perspective, I respect your perspective. That's it. You know what I mean? It's a different dynamics when you put that when you put that in a situation. It's a different dynamic. So
there shouldn't be any dynamics to it. It's the criteria that you just pointed out.
Yeah, but it's different.
You said this is what makes you that. Yeah. So it doesn't matter where you are and what your situation is. If I check off those boxes, I'm still the same great father. That's all I'm saying. That's all it's saying. But go ahead, Des. This is your show, man. If you got another question, man, let's get to it. Listen.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna say this.
I'm about to get out of here.
So
I gotta go.
Seven.
Good.
I was about to say that Chef's about to sign off, but me and you will continue with the questioning, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Chef Dennis, he's more than welcome, and he will be on other episodes. And I appreciate you, bro. But go ahead and take care of your family and do what you got to do.
All right.
And
I'll tell you.
yeah, me and Jarvis can say, all right, have a good night. All right. So he had to go. He got family time, and that's what happens in life sometimes. You're in a relationship, or if you married, you got to find that balance, right? You got to have that compromise. Your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other, they might be like, "Oh, you're invading on my time," so you got to be respectful. So he had to go, and that's cool. So I do have other questions that me and you can pick up on, right? So like. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember where we left off before he jumped on. Let me think about it for a minute.
We're talking about weak men, and it was the last question was about.
That was
the last question was about.
I think it's something about child support, right?
Yeah.
All right. So look, what if a man was the black sheep of the family, right? What if, no matter how hard he tried to connect with his family, or like just couldn't get like the solid support from his family, right? What if all he did was give to his family, but it was a one-way street? And one day he just was like, fuck it. I got to worry about myself. I got to put myself first. Does that make him a weak man, right? And the reason why I say that, before you comment, because we was talking about how, because somebody said a weak man is somebody that's not family oriented, right? So what if he was a black sheep and he did all he could, or he went above and beyond for his family, but he was a black sheep and they looked at him as an outcast. And then one day he's just like, fuck my family. I got to worry about myself. I got to worry about what's important to me. I have to progress in life. I have to be the better version of myself. And what if he shut his family out? Does that make him a weak man? Right? Because before we were talking about being family oriented. Somebody said, if you're not family oriented, you're a weak man. What if you're the black sheep? What if your family don't want nothing to do with you and you trying to do whatever you can for your family? But it's like I said, it's a one-way street. Does that make you a weak man, in your opinion?
It's kind of hard because I don't think it makes you. No. I'm gonna say that because I don't think it makes you a weak man, but I think that you are being weak as a man.
Whoa, see, I was not expecting you to go there. Explain why. That's crazy.
Because, okay, so a weak man means it's like that's just your characteristic, right? You just a weak man. No, I don't think that's what makes you that but I think you're being weak as a man because a man, to me, is supposed to be able to take those kind of hits and those punches and roll with them because they know their responsibilities. And because other people don't treat you the way you want to be treated or you feel like you deserve to be treated, shouldn't change your characteristics as a man. It shouldn't make you do the things that you're not supposed to do. So if a man is supposed to always look out for the family and they're supposed to be like a backbone in a sense, then that means you basically can't you lost self-control of your you lost self-control. You know what I'm saying? You lost self-control, self-confidence, and all of that because it's like you're supposed to be like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm a man and I'm gonna handle my responsibility. So if you even look at that as part of your responsibility, then you're lacking as a man. You're not lacking as a man, but you're being weak at that point because now you're like, oh, you gave into it. You gave into that as a weakness,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? It's almost like a man who's supposed to provide. Like I told you before about when we talked about the whole child thing, right? You're supposed to, like what they call the deadbeat, right? You're supposed to be there for your kid no matter what. But there's men who stop caring for their kid because they can't stand the woman. That's weak. You see what I'm saying? Because you gave into that and you broke your self control. So if taking care of your family and taking care of your family and doing that, that's your responsibility as a man. So if you go against that, see what the comment says is giving in. I didn't say giving in makes you weak. I said going against what you supposed to do as a man makes you weak. So as a man, if that's your responsibility and you turn your back on your responsibility as a man, you become weak as a man, but not necessarily a weak man, period. Like as a whole. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it does. It opens up a weakness.
So another thing, that we spoke about before is like, right, being driven, right? So to be driven means being determined to succeed or to be highly energetic or motivated. What do you think about that one?
Say that one more time. Being motivated means say what?
So to be motivated means being determined to succeed or to be highly energetic or motivated. So somebody said, if you don't exhibit these traits, that makes you a weak man. Do you agree or disagree?
What's the original word?
To be driven. What it means to be driven, right? Somebody told me a weak man is somebody that's not driven, right? So that's why I had to define the word driven. So the word driven, when you break it down, it says to be determined to succeed or to be highly energetic or motivated. So that's what I was saying. Do you think if you're not driven, you're a weak man?
No. I don't know. Because it ties between like it kind of goes to like giving it your all, kind of, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard because now I feel like it's going to be going towards like mental stability in a sense, because if based on the definition that you read, it seems like if you're not driven, then you're borderline depressed. You know what I'm saying? And I say borderline because it's not depression, but if you're not motivated, if you don't have, you're not energetic about things, and you're just kind of like, that's like borderline. You go into that depressive state. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard because there's so many people that depend on other people to give them that energy and give them that spunk and to have them motivated, right? So, and it's kind of like, and I hate to say it like this because it's going to sound crazy, but it kind of reminds me like a female characteristic. You see what I'm saying? If you're not driven.
That's what I was saying. I was saying that earlier.
Because it's like, no, but listen, but that's about drive. This is something different. It's a different word. And I say that is because of like this, for instance, right? I from my personal experience, I can't speak for all women. From my personal experience, right? Just women in general, not just women in my life, but just talking to women, just having.
Hold on 1 second. Read that comment. I mean, I got my own beliefs, but I want you to tell me what you think about that.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Somewhat, yeah. So I don't think it's this. But we're talking about men, right? So I didn't say that doesn't go for women too. If you're a woman and you are complacent, yes, I think that makes you weak too as a woman. But we're talking about men. I didn't say that only goes for men. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think women should want to achieve more too.
Well, But the comment they say men or women, it just said in general. That was supposed to be a generalized.
It said gender. It makes your gender weak. So that means male or female.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So
All
I'm
right.
saying I didn't say it was only for men. I just said we're talking about men. So I said yes. So I think it makes a female weak too. Yeah, but that's a different conversation. But yeah.
All right.
So
look for me.
Because I ain't get to finish.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I should. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer. I don't remember what you were saying.
Basically, I was saying about because the question that you was asking was about being motivated or driven, right? So, and the reason why I use that as a female trait and characteristic because from my experience, women in general, like, and I can't speak for all women. So when I say this, I'm only talking about the ones that I've met, like my female friends, female relatives, and women that I've dated, right? They tie a lot of their motivation and happiness on you. See, it's like somehow if you're not doing something to make them motivated or happy, you're taking it away. And it's not supposed to go like that. It's supposed to be like, I'm already doing it, and you catapult it, or you put an exponent on there, or you boost it. That's how it should be. So if a man is supposed to be like that the same way, and if you're not motivated or self-motivated, if you're not self-driven and stuff like that, you kind of inherit this feeling or this characteristic of I need someone to do it for me. And I don't think men's supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to be like, I'm ready to get it done. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be slothful in your business. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying when I say that? Yeah. So don't be slothful.
In other words, don't be lazy.
Yeah. So if you have to be driven in a sense. Now, do I think that makes you a weak man? I don't want to say yes, because you know what I mean? Like everybody, that's why I said it goes to that mental thing, because everybody has their own things that kind of make them think. And so depending on what's going on in your life, you could be, I don't want to say lazy, but you could be demotivated based on what's going on in your life. Like if you got a aggravating woman, it could demotivate you. You see what I'm saying? Right. But I do think men supposed to be self-driven, period. But I just don't want to say that makes them weak, because life can take that away from you in several different ways.
Well, hold on. I had to clear my nose. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but so what we were saying, like for me, I would have to agree, because a man that isn't motivated has no value, right? Like what man doesn't want to be successful in life, right? Although I see success a little different than most people, I feel as though if you wake up every day and you give it your all, that's a success. If you give your all, right, I feel like that's key to being motivated. It's not always about winning or being in the competition, right? Like I think like to be a successful man or a successful person, it just means like you doing whatever mentally you feel like it's your best. That's what I feel like success is. You're motivated, you're driven, you're doing what you can to be the best version of yourself. Right? We kind of said something earlier about that, about reaching your plateau. Right? Like to me, that's what success is. Some people say success is they got certain things or certain narratives. If you didn't do this, it's not a success. No, for me, success is giving it your all, doing the best you can. That for me, that's success. Do you agree with that or no?
I don't. I think.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I think that's the path. I think that's the path to make you successful, but that's not success to me.
Well, okay, hold on. Not to cut you off. If you giving it your all, no matter what it is in life, and you're doing the best mentally that you think you could do, right? How's that not a success? Because a failure will be not trying at all. If you define the word failure, is not giving it your all, or not giving 100%, or not trying, or not putting forth the effort. If you put forth the effort and mentally, if you feel like that is the best you can do, or I'm giving it my all, how's that not a success?
If you want to,
Nobody's perfect.
If you want to classify success as a feeling, then possibly, right? But success to me is there has to be an achievement from what you're doing, and if you don't achieve anything, I can't call it, in my mind, I can't call it success, because there's nothing achieved. You didn't get no kind of, you didn't get anything out of it. You put a whole, like for instance, you can say like for instance, like this, you can have a winner mindset, but you ain't a winner. Because if you ain't win shit, you ain't a winner.
But you have one
mindset, though.
You got to break it down. So like, right, we gonna have to have a part 2. But like, I'm not cutting you off just yet. We're gonna have to have a part 2, whether it be me and you, or me and somebody else, because we've been speaking for a long time. But listen, to be a winner, in my opinion, is giving it your all, bro. Like, if you think that this is what it takes to be successful,
right,
and you will reach that plateau, that's a success.
There's no such thing as a plateau.
For me, somebody that's, what do you mean? You say, so in other words, what you're saying is no ceiling? It's no ceiling? It's no cap? Right. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Because you don't know everything.
Okay, so what is success to you then?
I told you, if you're giving something your all, you're doing whatever, that's fine, right? And you can have you can have a successful mindset. But to me, and the mindset is because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to be successful. So my mind is successful, but achievement has to come from success. Like what I was talking about when I said winning, right? If you play basketball your hardest, but you never get a trophy, did you win anything? Did you win anything? What did you win?
So when you do your best, right, you still get accolades, right? You still get achievements. Oh, that's what you won. You won that glory. You win glory and accolades.
That's what I said.
When you meet, for every accolade, for every milestone, you win something, right? So, yes, you won something. It might not be what you wanted in life. It might not be what you wanted, but you have won something. Any man or any woman that do their best, they have won something. Because you know why? They won something in life. They have given their all to succeed. They won something, bro.
But what did they win?
You win. You win how people view you. You win acknowledgement of self. You win the feeling of, I did my best and this is what I came to. You, like when you try, like people that don't try are the losers, right? So when you try your best, you win something. You feel great about yourself.
Okay, so you just said if you don't try something, you're a loser. That's incorrect because I said that's incorrect because you have to, if you have to try. Like, how can you lose if something that you never tried? If you never had something to lose, so that doesn't make you a loser if you never try it. It says you have a loser's mindset. It's a mindset. So if you want to tie it to emotions, then yes, you can be successful, and yes, you can be as emotionally. But when we talking about real shit, a winner has to win something. They have to. Something has to come. There has to be an achievement.
But okay, so when you try your best, is there not an achievement in that? You're achieving something by giving it your all, and that's all right. If you learn something new in life, is that not an achievement? Oh, I'm glad you said that. So when you give your all, you might not be where you envision yourself to be in life, but if you learn something new, is that not an achievement? That's an achievement.
Right. So
you achieve something.
Right. But guess what? You learn something new, right? But let's say you went to school, right? And you gave it your all, but you didn't learn a damn thing. That's not an achievement. Whose fault is that?
That's not a fault on the person.
I just said you gave it your all, though. Exactly what you said. I gave it my all, but I ain't learned a damn thing. Am I still successful? Am I still a winner? Hell no. You got to come out of there with new knowledge, like you just said. You got to come out there with new knowledge.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. And this is the crazy thing. I was ready to wrap up, but now we're gonna talk until we're not gonna talk no more. So if you give it your all, you haven't learned nothing. Whose fault is that?
It doesn't matter. I just gave it my all.
No. Whose fault?
Your definition, it doesn't matter. It's my fault. I was unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to say. That means you haven't did the necessary things to achieve your goal. That makes you a failure.
But I said I gave it my all, and so did you.
So the definition of a dummy is what?
Somebody who has the inability to learn. Somebody who has the inability to learn.
So if you have the ability to learn, right?
Right.
And you just be like, you get sucked in and be like, oh, I'm not learning where I'm at, and you're content with that, and you're not doing nothing to better that situation. Guess who's the dummy? You, right? Because you not trying to alter or change that situation.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Now let's go to somebody got autism who gives their all and they still can't learn. Are they a dummy? No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. When we talked about that, somebody gave it their, I said, well, somebody gave it their all and they didn't learn anything. You said, well, whose fault is that? They're autistic. Okay. So now what?
Okay.
They gave it their all.
By definition, yes. By definition, yes, they're a dummy. But the reason why it's different is because they have autism. They have a deficiency to where they have trouble learning, and that's where what that comment you say is wrong. I'm talking about people that don't have a deficiency. They have the ability to learn, but choose not to.
No. We never said choose not to. I said if someone gave it their all and didn't learn anything, you adding stuff to make it fit your narrative.
No, well, when I was speaking, I was generally speaking about people that have the ability, normal people or high functioning people, not low functioning people.
But you can still
if you have a deficiency, or if you have a deficiency or disability, you are low functioning, and it may or may not be your fault. But if you're low functioning, you cannot function with high functioning. You can't.
Okay, so that's fine. But let's talk about people who function normally, right? If they gave it their all and still didn't get the education, right? They gave it their all.
They didn't.
See, so
I don't believe if somebody high functioning and they gave it all and they didn't learn it. I don't believe that because giving it your all means applying yourself. And most of America now look, they say Generation Z, they don't know shit because it's technology. If technology is not teaching them, they don't learn something. A human being, somebody that lived through the trials and tribulations, teach them things. They don't learn things because they're low functioning, and that's the problem I have with the world today. Society teaches people, the internet, the Google teach you everything. No, you need somebody to physically sit down with you and talk to you. You need problems that happen in your life to teach you things. Without problems, how can you learn? If you touch that stove and it wasn't hot, but then 3 times later you try it was hot. That's how you learn. The stove is going to be hot once you turn it on. Google and social media, it's not going to teach you that. You need to learn through trials and tribulations.
Okay.
And I know we're going off topic a little bit.
Yeah, right. That's
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying. Nothing. I was just gonna say, but like by definition, you can't, like when we're talking about success and non-success, like it's more to it than just giving it your all. Because people can give things their all and still not achieve anything. There's people who like try to play a sport, like run track, for instance. They give it their all. If they slow. What did they
learn the trials and tribulations.
What did they achieve?
You know what they achieved? The knowledge of the fact that sport is not
slow.
for them.
The knowledge that they slow. Like, shut the fuck.
Yeah, that sport is not for them. For
but
somebody,
hey,
listen,
that doesn't make them successful.
Hold on. If
you're a successful track star,
no,
because you learned that you can't do it.
No.
So what is their success?
About the knowledge, knowing the success is this is what success is. If they try to run track or they want to run track and they realize it's not for them, that makes them successful, knowing that I may want this, but it's not for me. That's successful because guess what? They learn that what your wants is not always what it's going to be. I might want something, but that's not for me. That's successful. Once they acknowledge that, that's what makes them successful. Because that's what makes them smarter. So hold on. To be successful, you got to be knowledgeable. To be successful, you got to be smart, right? So a smart person to know, I want this, but it's not for me. That's what makes them smart. Now, guess what? Now they put they best foot forward. They're like, you know what? I wanted this. I like this. It's not for me. That's what makes them smart. They know when to get in and when to get out.
No.
My opinion.
No. Because I'm going to tell you right now. Check it out. Go back to what you said. See? You got to listen to what you say and how you just went against what you said, right? Because that means what you're saying is a normally functional person can run track, right? Or they doing track and their success is just knowing it's not for them. Or are they not giving it the effort or using the tools that they can do, their resources to be better? Because you can't tell me that a normal functional person can't be faster. You can't say that because they can.
I think
they can. Anybody can be faster. Anybody can be stronger if they apply themselves. Just like what you were saying earlier, they got to apply themselves.
It's techniques.
And anybody can learn that, right? So if they're not learning that means that what's
to be faster, that's debatable.
No, it's not. They gotta be trained and they gotta learn. They gotta put the effort in. If they're not doing it, they're not gonna learn.
So you don't believe in skill?
Their skill, but skill comes with practice. It said you put 1,000 hours into anything, you got the skill. But it was like 10,000 hours.
That's not necessarily true though.
But it is.
That's not necessarily true.
It is.
If you put the time in, but it's not in your genetic makeup, you would not be talented. Mentally and wholeheartedly, you might be into it. But like
you're talking about talent. Talent is different from skill. Skill is gained and earned and trained to be. Talent is when you don't need that stuff to get there because it's just naturally in you. Somebody who just naturally fast, they're talented. They didn't have to go train 10,000 hours to be good at it. They just natural like that. That is the difference. Yeah. But anybody can learn anything. That's that's what I'm saying. That's why I say success is you got to achieve something because anybody can learn anything. There's nothing that's outside your scope. You just got to put the effort and the time into it.
Right.
So
and listen, I'm gonna say this. Listen, you and I, we both been teaching, we both been educating, but we've been going on for like 2.5 hours at this point. So we can have a part 2, whether it be me and you, or me and somebody else, or me, you, and somebody else. It doesn't matter. But at this point, I'm gonna say it's a good time to pause. So that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope everybody that's been listening and viewing, I hope they enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And for whoever been watching, I hope you tune into next week's episode. Each week is gonna get more juicier. It's gonna be more entertaining. You know, I hope you come back for other episodes because you're a great speaker and I enjoy your point of views. But for the listeners, just make sure you comment, share, subscribe, like. I greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to end this session for the night. And like I said, Mr. Jarvis Black, any episode I have, whether it's with you or somebody else, if you want to jump on, just let me know and I'll invite you in. But we're going to conclude this episode for the night. All right?
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.